Hey guys, welcome back to Ben Keenan Just Can't Stop Talking. It's been a minute and we have a lot to catch up on, but I just wanted to get on here and give you a little 5-minute update on where I've been, the future of this podcast, how I see things progressing, and kind of just the lay of the land because we've not caught up in about a month now. So long story short, the last time you heard from me, I was actually in Detroit, Michigan with the Harris Walls campaign, working on the ground in Detroit, trying to get people to turn out the vote and register and vote for Kamala Harris and her policies. I posted a video there because I had a few minutes. The quality wasn't great. The sound was horrible. I wasn't able to really fully discuss everything that was going on because I only had a 5-minute break between all of the things that I had to get done when I was on the ground. I was really embarrassed to put out the episode. The quality was garbage. And I said, okay, cool. This is wholly unsustainable when I am traveling as often as I am. And, you know, if you know my other social stuff, it's I've been traveling, right? Like my whole shtick is that I'm on the road. And I realize it is very unfair to you as listeners of this podcast that I am not able to be here every week and give you the best quality. I don't want you to worry about like, oh my God, is it going to be a shit episode again because Ben's on the road? So I took a couple weeks, stepped back and tried to figure out what I wanted this to look like sustainably long term. And I really came down with the idea that I want this to be something that is ongoing, and I'm going to continue to pursue a high quality of podcasts so that you are having an enjoyable experience whenever you listen. So that first week, I really tried to reflect. The second and third week, I was working my ass off to get Kamala Harris elected. Obviously, we know how that went. And then this week, I really took a few days to kind of rest my body, heal my mind, and really just sit with the reality that we're going to be with for the next 4 years. With that being said, I also did planning on what I want this podcast to look like. And it's going to look a little different, not in terms of content, but in terms of timeliness, in terms of consistency, in terms of additional content so that we can diversify a little bit. And this is kind of what I'm thinking. What I am planning on doing is still offering you the news of the week, right? Every single week, hopefully on Sundays, where you can talk about the news of the week from Monday through Friday of that last week. We are going to do the top 10 countdown, work through thoughts, processes, whatever. In addition to that, I would like to start doing deep dives. So if we have a topic from that last week that is important and interesting and fun and silly and whatever it might be, we can dive a little deeper into that, right? So say we have the Grammys coming up, for example, we could dive into the fact that it's like, we haven't seen Beyonce win Album of the Year. I think Cowboy Carter, as it's been nominated, should be the winner, but I might sit here and like talk about the pros and the cons of the other albums as well, right? We can digest that. I would also like to, down the road, and I don't know how soon I'm going to introduce this, another series portion of the episodes called Yappy Hour, where I can just talk to a friend, a fellow influencer, a podcaster, a celebrity, an expert in some sort of space about just whatever. And you literally are just sitting here and listening to us have a conversation like people and just get to know what other people are thinking outside of the little space that we've created online or even in this podcast. I know I'm guilty of living in my own bubble a lot of the time. This is not politically speaking, just like generally what I see on like my For You page on TikTok is not what you all see on your For You page, right? I just don't know what exists. So let's sit down and just talk because nobody does that anymore, right? We're all glued to our phones. And I mean, I understand that you're glued to the phone listening to and watching this. So I appreciate that you were glued to me, but still, I think that I want to be more intentional about getting offline to get online, to get offline. Does that make sense? I don't know. Either way, that'll be a portion of what I introduce down the road. Ideally, I don't know when that'll be. But if you have any guests or people that you want me to reach out to and talk to, you're like, oh, I think this would be a fun conversation, feel free to comment any of the locations that you see me. So like I said, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you sticking around. I appreciate all of the comments saying, hey, are you done with this podcast? Or, hey, I haven't seen you on YouTube in a while. Am I able to watch you? I'm back. I'm back with, new sight into what the future of this podcast might look like. So starting this week, I'm going to regather all of the information of the news that's happening. And hopefully it's good news, just generally, because I think we've all been through a heavy bad news cycle. And I'm ready to turn the page on that and give you something good to talk about. So until then, you know where to find me. I'm on social media. I'm on I've Been Traveling at TikTok, Ben Keenan on Instagram. I'm using Threads more, which you can find just through my Instagram. Obviously, you can find me on YouTube and at this podcast. Until next time, I appreciate you and I appreciate you being here. Talk soon. Bye.